What if everything you think you know about angels and demons is wrong, or at least incomplete? The books of Enoch, ancient Jewish texts excluded from the biblical canon, whisper of a reality far stranger and perhaps far more dangerous than traditional religious narratives allow. Are these forbidden books divinely inspired texts offering a glimpse into a hidden reality, or are they merely pseudepigraphal works of historical interest, fraught with the potential for misinterpretation and even manipulation? For centuries, the books of Enoch have been shrouded in controversy, accused of heresy, suppressed by religious authorities, and yet simultaneously revered by mystics and esoteric scholars as containing profound spiritual insights. These texts offer a unique window into the development of Jewish angelology and demonology, influencing later Kabbalistic thought and shaping our understanding of the celestial hierarchies. The presence of Enochian concepts in foundational texts like the Zohar underscores their enduring influence on Western esoteric traditions, establishing angel hierarchies and demon classifications that resonate even today. Yet, are we prepared to grapple with the challenging perspectives offered within the books of Enoch? A deeper understanding of the books of Enoch could potentially challenge or reshape your understanding of established religious narratives, offering alternative historical interpretations and revealing previously unimagined dimensions of your personal spiritual potential. The story of the Watchers, for example, offers a compelling alternative interpretation of Genesis and the origins of evil, while the complex angelology provides a framework for understanding the subtle forces at play within the human psyche. Perhaps the angelic and demonic figures within these ancient pages are not external entities at all, but rather archetypal forces residing within each of us, reflecting our own inner conflicts and untapped potential for spiritual growth. The implications of these texts are enormous, suggesting that we each possess the power to transcend our limitations and navigate the complexities of moral choice. These ancient texts, including 1 Enoch, the most widely known version with parts found in Aramaic among the Dead Sea Scrolls and considered canonical in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, offer a glimpse into worlds beyond our own. But what exactly are the Watchers and the Nephilim, and what significance do they hold within the Enochian narrative? The Watchers, angelic beings tasked with observing humanity, transgressed their divine mandate by mating with human women, giving rise to the Nephilim, a hybrid race whose existence disrupted the cosmic balance. Are these beings merely figures of ancient mythology, or do they represent something more profound, perhaps even forces within our own nature that threaten to disrupt our inner harmony? This pattern of hierarchical structures within the angelic and demonic realms will be a core tenet of our discussion, foreshadowing later discussions of Kabbalistic correspondences and symbolic relationships. If these books contain such profound wisdom, why were they excluded from the biblical canon? What are the risks of delving into such potentially volatile spiritual material? Could it be that the books of Enoch contain coded messages and hidden meanings that require careful decoding, a deeper layer of meaning accessible only to those with the right keys? As we begin to explore these mysteries, we will uncover connections between the books of Enoch and other spiritual traditions, such as Gnosticism and Hermeticism, further enriching our understanding of these ancient texts. And so, if we want to delve into the world of Enoch, we need to start at the beginning. What can we learn from the historic record? What have scholars already uncovered in their analysis of this ancient, forbidden knowledge? What if the forbidden nature of the books of Enoch isn't due to their heretical content, but rather the dangerous knowledge they unlock within the human psyche? The fragmented record of these ancient texts, scattered across centuries and cultures, presents both a challenge and an opportunity. A challenge to piece together the narrative, and an opportunity to unearth the hidden system of knowledge embedded within. Can we truly understand the symbolic significance of the Watchers and the Nephilim without first grappling with the complex historical and textual context in which they emerged. The historical record surrounding the books of Enoch is, indeed, a fragmented mosaic. The most complete version is preserved within the canon of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, where it holds a place of honor alongside other biblical texts. But why Ethiopia? The answer lies in the early spread of Christianity and the unique cultural landscape of the region, where Jewish traditions intertwined with indigenous beliefs, creating a fertile ground for the preservation of these ancient texts. In contrast, Rabbinic Judaism rejected the books of Enoch, possibly due to their apocalyptic nature and their potential to undermine established religious authority. We see here a pattern emerge, a constant theme of esoteric knowledge being suppressed by establishment entities. The Dead Sea Scrolls, discovered in the caves of Qumran, offer further glimpses into the importance of Enochian material to certain Jewish sects of the Second Temple period, confirming its significance to groups like the Essenes. The state of these fragments, however, is far from pristine. Many are incomplete, requiring scholars to painstakingly piece together the narrative from disparate sources. Some versions are only known through later translations, adding further layers of interpretation and potential distortion. Is this fragmentation a deliberate attempt to obscure the true meaning of the texts, or simply a consequence of the ravages of time and the vagaries of history? What we can be certain about is that the fragmented record certainly makes interpretation difficult. Scholarly analysis of the books of Enoch reveals a multitude of approaches, each offering a unique lens through which to view these ancient texts. Some scholars focus on the historical context, interpreting the books of Enoch as reflections of the social and political concerns of Second Temple Judaism. These scholars emphasize the text's potential to shed light on the messianic expectations, apocalyptic anxieties, and sectarian divisions of the time. Others emphasize the text's symbolic and mythological dimensions, exploring their connections to other ancient Near Eastern traditions, such as Mesopotamian mythology and Zoroastrian cosmology. These scholars see the books of Enoch as part of a broader tapestry of ancient religious thought, reflecting shared themes and archetypes. Still, other scholars focus on the theological implications of the books of Enoch, examining their impact on the development of angelology, demonology, and eschatology. These scholars explore the text's influence on later Jewish and Christian thought, tracing the evolution of ideas about angels, demons, judgment, and the afterlife. But what if all of these approaches are merely scratching the surface? What if the true meaning of the books of Enoch lies hidden beneath layers of symbolism and allegory, accessible only to those who possess the key to unlock it? Understanding this historical context is not merely an academic exercise. It is essential for interpreting the symbolic language and deeper meanings embedded within the books of Enoch. It illuminates how the Watchers, Nephilim, and other figures were understood at the time, providing a foundation for exploring their potential symbolic significance. As we dig deeper, we'll see the system emerge from the fog of history. But to truly grasp the essence of these texts, we must move beyond historical analysis and delve into the realm of key concepts, exploring the roles and significance of the Watchers, the Nephilim, and the heavenly realms. But were the Watchers truly fallen, or were they acting on a divine mandate, initiating a necessary, though perhaps painful, stage in human evolution? The Watchers, angelic beings tasked with observing humanity, occupy a central role in the Enochian narrative. But were they guardians or transgressors? The books of Enoch describe their initial role as benevolent observers, sent to guide and protect humanity. However, they soon succumbed to temptation, lusting after human women and sharing forbidden knowledge, such as metalworking, cosmetics, and astrology, with humankind. This transgression disrupted the cosmic order, leading to the birth of the Nephilim and the spread of violence and corruption on Earth. Yet, some interpretations suggest that the Watchers were not acting out of malice, but rather out of a desire to accelerate human evolution, even if it meant disobeying divine commands. Could it be that their fall was a necessary catalyst for human development, a deliberate act of rebellion against a static and unchanging order? Perhaps they saw the potential for humanity to transcend its limitations and reach new heights of consciousness, and they were willing to risk everything to make it happen. This begs the question, is all rebellion inherently evil, or can it sometimes be a necessary force for progress? The Nephilim, the offspring of the Watchers and human women, are often depicted as giants who brought violence and corruption to the earth. Their insatiable appetites and destructive behavior threaten to consume humanity, leading to divine intervention and their eventual destruction. But what if the Nephilim also represent something more profound than mere monstrous offspring? What if they symbolize the potential for human beings to transcend their limitations, albeit in a dangerous or unbalanced way? Perhaps they embody the raw, untamed energies of the human psyche, the potential for both creation and destruction. Just as the Watchers transgressed their divine mandate, the Nephilim represent the consequences of unchecked ambition and the dangers of pursuing knowledge without wisdom. The Nephilim thus become a symbol for the unbalanced, strength without compassion. Were they truly monstrous or merely misunderstood, embodying a distorted reflection of human potential? Enoch's visionary journeys through the heavenly realms offer a glimpse into the underlying structure of reality, a cosmic order governed by angels, celestial structures, and the throne of God. These detailed descriptions of celestial palaces, rivers of fire, and angelic hierarchies provide a symbolic map of the cosmos and the divine hierarchy. Enoch encounters various angels, each with their own unique roles and responsibilities, and witnesses the workings of divine judgment and the unfolding of cosmic events. But what if these visions are not merely literal descriptions of a celestial realm? What if they represent a symbolic journey through the different levels of consciousness, a path of initiation leading to union with the divine? Is Enoch's ascent to the throne of God a metaphor for the individual's journey towards self-realization and spiritual enlightenment? Can we map these realms to our own consciousness? The hierarchical structure of angels and demons mirrors the Sephirot and Qliphoth, with the Watchers representing forces of disruption and the Nephilim embodying unbalanced energies. But the connection is not explicitly stated, it is implied, a hidden key for those who seek to unlock the secrets of the books of Enoch. The Watchers, in their transgression, can be seen as analogous to the forces of the Qliphoth, the shells or husks that represent the negative or unbalanced aspects of the Sephirot. The Nephilim, in their monstrous form, can be seen as embodiments of the chaotic energies unleashed by the disruption of the divine order. So, are the Sephirot and Qliphoth merely abstract concepts, or do they represent real forces that can be harnessed for personal and spiritual transformation? Here a shock claim: the Watchers' sharing of forbidden knowledge wasn't a corruption, but a divine plan in disguise to speed-run humanity's evolution, bypassing millennia of slow progression. This wasn't rebellion, but cosmic compliance, with the forbidden knowledge acting as a necessary jolt to awaken human potential. We're just scratching the surface of these complex topics, and what we'll discover next is even more shocking. As we transition into Kabbalistic interpretations, we'll see how the angelic hierarchies described in the books of Enoch can be mapped onto the Sephirot on the Tree of Life, each Sephirah representing a different aspect of divinity and a corresponding angelic order. This is where the true potential of the books of Enoch begins to emerge, offering a path to personal transformation and a deeper understanding of the nature of reality, all based around angelic archetypes. But as we explore these Kabbalistic connections, we must ask ourselves, are we truly prepared to confront the shadow side of the Tree of Life, the Qliphoth, and the demonic forces that dwell within? But does this mean the books of Enoch are nothing more than a historical curiosity, an artifact of a bygone era? Or could they contain a key, a hidden map to a potent form of magic, one that has been deliberately suppressed and misunderstood? What if the forbidden nature of these books stems not only from their theological implications, but also from the sheer power they unlock? Enoch magic and the dangers of unbalanced power. The concept of Enochian magic, often veiled in secrecy and whispered about in esoteric circles, refers to a complex system of ceremonial magic, purportedly based on the teachings and visions of Enoch. But what truly sets Enochian magic apart, and why does it hold such a mystique? While many forms of magic draw upon ancient traditions and symbolic systems, Enochian magic claims a direct link to angelic communication and a unique linguistic framework. A prime example of this is the intricate system developed by John Dee and Edward Kelly in the 16th century. Dee, a renowned mathematician, astronomer, and occultist, believed that he could contact angels through the use of a scrying mirror and the mediumship of Kelly. What resulted was a complex system of angelic communication involving a unique language, sigils, and invocations. The Enochian language, with its distinct grammar and vocabulary, was said to have been revealed by the angels themselves, offering a direct line to divine wisdom and power. Practitioners believe the Enochian system provides access to profound spiritual insights and the ability to influence the fabric of reality itself. But should we be wary of such power? Is it truly divine, or something else entirely? However, the path of Enochian magic is not without its perils. The potential dangers of this system are as immense as its potential rewards, demanding a cautious and discerning approach. What are these potential dangers, and how can practitioners avoid them? The risks range from misinterpretation of complex symbolism to the potential for psychological imbalance, and even, some believe, demonic influence. Consider the story of Edward Kelly himself. While initially lauded for his ability to communicate with angels, Kelly's life took a dark turn. Some accounts suggest that he became increasingly erratic and unstable, possibly due to the pressures of his role as a medium or perhaps influenced by darker forces encountered through his work. The pursuit of power, unchecked by wisdom and ethical considerations, can lead to obsession, delusion, and a loss of touch with reality. Furthermore, the line between angelic and demonic entities can become blurred, with malevolent spirits masquerading as benevolent guides. The unchecked ego, eager for power and recognition, becomes a beacon for deception, leading the practitioner down a path of spiritual corruption. Is the pursuit of forbidden knowledge worth the risk of losing one's sanity or soul? Given these significant risks, ethical considerations become paramount in the practice of Enochian magic. A strong moral compass, proper preparation, and a clear understanding of potential consequences are not merely recommended, but absolutely essential for safe and effective practice. How can one navigate the complexities of Enochian magic with wisdom and integrity? Practices such as regular meditation, self-reflection, and consultation with experienced mentors can help practitioners develop the necessary discernment and self-awareness to navigate these treacherous waters. Mentors who have already trod the path can advise on the pitfalls and how to avoid them. It is also essential to approach Enochian magic with humility, recognizing that one is dealing with forces beyond human comprehension. Working with angels for benevolent purposes and avoiding any actions that could harm oneself or others are also crucial. The intention behind the work is paramount. Seeking to serve the greater good rather than personal gain can help to ensure that one remains aligned with the light. Ultimately, the ethical practice of Enochian magic requires a commitment to self-knowledge, integrity, and a deep respect for the forces one is invoking. But can we ever truly be certain of our own intentions? While Enochian magic can be a potent tool for spiritual development, it's essential to reiterate that it is not without its inherent risks. We must tread carefully. So, what if there were ways to glean wisdom from Enochian principles without diving headlong into ceremonial magic? As we move forward, we will focus on safe and ethical ways to apply Enochian principles to one's life. X. Practical APPLICATIONS, personal growth and self-transformation. While the full-blown practice of Enochian magic may seem daunting, even dangerous, there are numerous ways to apply its underlying principles to personal growth and self-transformation. Can we harness the archetypal energies of angels and demons for inner healing and spiritual development? Absolutely. One powerful approach involves angelic invocation, a practice of connecting with angelic archetypes to receive inner guidance, support, and inspiration. While this may sound esoteric, the underlying principle is simple. By focusing our attention and intention on specific angelic qualities, we can activate those qualities within ourselves. For example, if we seek courage in the face of adversity, we might invoke the angel Michael, the celestial warrior and protector. This invocation can take many forms, from simple prayer and meditation to more elaborate rituals involving visualization, sigils, and affirmations. Visualizing Michael as a radiant figure of strength, reciting prayers that affirm our own courage, and meditating on the qualities of bravery and resilience can all help us to connect with this powerful archetype. Similarly, we can invoke Raphael for healing, Gabriel for communication, and Uriel for wisdom, aligning ourselves with the specific energies and qualities that we seek to cultivate. But how do we know these invocations are truly effective? Is it merely a matter of psychological suggestion, or is there something more profound at play? What is the link between these angelic archetypes and our own shadow archetypes? The shadow self, as Jung termed it, contains those repressed aspects of our personality that we deem unacceptable. To truly become whole, we must embrace our darker side, because it is, after all, still part of us. To that end, the demonic figures within the books of Enoch can be viewed as symbolic representations of the shadow self. By confronting these demons through shadow work techniques, we can integrate these repressed aspects of our psyche, leading to greater self-awareness, emotional healing, and personal integration. But how do we confront these inner demons safely and effectively? Practices such as journaling, dream analysis, and active imagination can help us to identify and understand our shadow selves. For example, we might keep a journal in which we explore our negative emotions, destructive behaviors, and recurring patterns of self-sabotage. Dream analysis can reveal hidden aspects of our psyche through the symbolic language of our dreams. Active imagination, a technique developed by Jung, involves engaging in a conscious dialogue with the figures that emerge from our unconscious mind. By confronting these demons with courage and compassion, we can learn to understand their motivations and integrate their energies into our conscious awareness. Integrating the shadow self is not about condoning negative behavior, but about understanding its roots and transforming its energy into something positive. Are you ready to confront your own inner demons, or do you prefer to remain in the comfortable illusion of a perfect self? And what of the future? Are there any dream work traditions that might help to show us what is to come? Accessing the subconscious mind through visionary experiences is also a technique. In this vein, Enochian dream work can serve as a powerful tool for unlocking hidden knowledge and receiving guidance from the angelic realms. By creating the right conditions and setting a clear intention, we can incubate dreams that provide valuable insights into our lives, our purpose, and our relationship with the divine. How do we incubate Enochian dreams, and what kind of insights can they provide? One technique involves meditating on specific angelic sigils or reading passages from the books of Enoch before sleep. This helps to attune our minds to the angelic frequencies and create a receptive state for visionary experiences. Another technique involves keeping a dream journal and recording our dreams in as much detail as possible. By analyzing the symbols, characters, and emotions in our dreams, we can gain a deeper understanding of their meaning and significance. It is believed that Enochian dreams can provide guidance on important decisions, reveal hidden talents and abilities, and offer glimpses into the future. Do you dare to open the door to the angelic realms through the power of your dreams? Or do you prefer to remain confined to the limitations of your waking consciousness? By working with the archetypal energies of angels and demons, we can achieve a more complete and harmonious state of being, aligning ourselves with the divine will and fulfilling our true potential. So how do we synthesize these various practices and create a holistic approach to personal transformation? The key lies in balance, ethical responsibility, and a commitment to personal growth. Integrating the light and shadow aspects of the psyche, cultivating virtues such as courage, compassion, and wisdom, and seeking guidance from both inner and outer sources can all help us to navigate the complexities of the spiritual path. Remember, the journey of self-transformation is not a destination, but an ongoing process of growth, learning, and evolution. XI. A call to cautious exploration and continued learning, however, it is crucial to approach these ancient texts and related practices with a healthy dose of skepticism and critical thinking. How can we ensure that we are not being misled by misinformation, manipulation, or our own biases? When exploring the books of Enoch and Enochian magic, it is essential to evaluate sources carefully, question assumptions, and avoid falling prey to claims that seem too good to be true. Don't accept anything at face value. Research different interpretations of the books of Enoch, compare and contrast various Enochian magical systems, and be wary of claims that lack evidence or contradict established knowledge. Remember, the path to true understanding requires intellectual rigor and a willingness to challenge even our most cherished beliefs. The truth is not always what we want it to be. While critical thinking is essential, it is equally important to trust our own intuition and inner guidance when navigating the complexities of Enochian wisdom. Is there a way to balance intellectual rigor with the wisdom of the heart? Cultivate a deep connection with your inner self, learn to recognize the voice of your intuition, and trust your own sense of what is right and true. The answers lie within. Develop your own personal relationship with the angelic and demonic archetypes, listen to your inner voice, and trust your own sense of what is right and true. Remember, ultimate authority resides within. Embrace the mystery, because the exploration of the books of Enoch is an ongoing quest for knowledge and understanding, not a destination. This journey has no final step, as there is always more to learn. As we conclude our exploration of the forbidden books of Enoch, remember that this ancient text offers a glimpse into a hidden reality, a reality filled with angels and demons, forbidden knowledge, and the potential for profound spiritual transformation. But it is up to each individual to decide how to use that knowledge wisely and responsibly. The path is open, but the journey is yours. But what if the greatest secret of the books of Enoch isn't about angels or demons, but about unlocking the dormant potential within ourselves? XII. The Fall of the Watchers, a Kabbalistic and psychological analysis, but what if the fall of the Watchers, so often portrayed as a straightforward act of rebellion and lust, holds a far deeper, more nuanced meaning, one that resonates with the very core of our own spiritual struggles? Perhaps instead of viewing it as a simple transgression, we can reinterpret it through the lens of Kabbalah and psychology as a profound act of separation from the divine source. Could this separation, this severing of connection, be the true essence of their fall, the wellspring of all that followed? This tension, this cosmic drift, forms the heart of their tragedy, a tragedy that echoes within each of us. Consider, for example, the Kabbalistic concept of breaking the vessels, Eshvarat HaKelim. In this mythic event, the divine light, too intense to be contained, shattered the vessels meant to hold it, scattering fragments of that light throughout creation. What if the Watchers' yearning for human women mirrors this breaking, this fragmentation? Their desire to immerse themselves in the physical world, to experience it directly, led them to overstep their boundaries, to lose sight of their celestial origins. In their embrace of the earthly, they diminished their connection to the divine, becoming like shards of a broken mirror, reflecting only distorted images of their former glory. This is not merely a story of sin, but a cautionary tale about the perils of losing one's way, of sacrificing spiritual connection for the allure of sensory experience. Is this not a temptation we all face in our own lives? Do we not often prioritize the immediate gratification of the physical world over the deeper fulfillment of spiritual connection? Now, let us turn our attention to Azazel, the leader of the Watchers, a figure shrouded in mystery and often demonized in religious texts. What if Azazel represents something far more complex than a simple embodiment of evil? What if he embodies the shadow self, that hidden aspect of our personality that contains all the traits we deem unacceptable, the desires we repress, the fears we deny? The human tendency to project our own negative qualities onto others is a well-documented psychological phenomenon, and Azazel, in this context, becomes the ultimate scapegoat, the receptacle for humanity's collective sins. Think of the ancient Jewish ritual of the scapegoat. On Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, the sins of the people were symbolically transferred onto a goat, which was then driven out into the wilderness, carrying those transgressions away. Azazel, in a similar vein, becomes the symbolic carrier of the sins of both the Watchers and humanity. We project our own darkness onto him, absolving ourselves of responsibility and conveniently externalizing blame. But is this truly a path to redemption? Can we truly purify ourselves by simply banishing our shadow selves? Or does true healing lie in acknowledging, understanding, and integrating these hidden aspects of our being? Azazel, then, is not simply a demon to be feared, but a mirror reflecting our own potential for darkness, a challenge to confront our inner demons and embrace the fullness of our humanity. The Watchers, in their transgression, also shared forbidden knowledge with humanity, knowledge that held the potential for both advancement and corruption. Was this a gift or a curse? Consider the specific types of knowledge they imparted: metallurgy, the art of forging weapons; cosmetics, the tools of vanity and deception; astrology, the manipulation of fate. While these skills could be used for positive purposes, they also opened the door to imbalance and destruction. The creation of weapons fueled violence and warfare. The pursuit of vanity fostered superficiality and self-obsession. The manipulation of fate led to a disregard for natural order and divine will. Is it possible that they corrupted humanity? This is the inherent tension of forbidden knowledge, its power to elevate and its potential to destroy. Like the serpent in the Garden of Eden, the Watchers offered humanity a taste of something beyond its current understanding, a glimpse into a realm of power and possibility. But this knowledge came at a price that continues to be paid to this day. Are we wise enough to wield such power responsibly, or are we destined to repeat the mistakes of the past? To further illuminate this, let's map these key events and figures onto the Tree of Life, a powerful Kabbalistic framework for understanding the interconnectedness of all things. The Watchers' rebellion, their descent into the physical realm, can be linked to the Culifa of Gamaliel, the obscene ones, representing the chaotic and destructive forces that arise when divine energies are misused. Azazel, the leader of the rebellion, finds his correspondence in the Culifa of Thagirian, the disputers, symbolizing the pride and ego that can lead to spiritual downfall. These dark reflections of the Sephirot serve as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of straying from the path of balance and harmony. But they also offer a valuable lesson. By understanding the Culifath, by confronting our own inner demons, we can learn to navigate the darker aspects of our being and restore balance to our lives. But how do we use the Kabbalistic Tree of Life to apply this to our own lives? XIII, the NEPHILIM, children of transgression or seeds of potential. The consequences of the Watchers' fall manifested in the form of the Nephilim, giants of immense strength and destructive power, who roamed the earth, terrorizing humanity. Are these monstrous beings simply the product of a forbidden union, or do they represent something more profound about the nature of human potential? Were they really all bad? The Nephilim are often depicted as beings of insatiable appetites, prone to cannibalism and utterly devoid of compassion. They represent the unchecked power of the ego, divorced from ethical considerations and driven by a relentless desire for domination. Their monstrous qualities serve as a stark warning about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the consequences of spiritual imbalance. They represent the worst aspects of humanity, but what if the Nephilim also embody the seeds of human potential, albeit in a dangerous and unbalanced way? What if their immense size and strength symbolize the human capacity for greatness, the yearning to transcend limitations and achieve extraordinary feats? Their innovative spirit, though often misdirected, could also be seen as a catalyst for progress and development. They were different from other humans, and that difference may have led to innovation. Consider the possibility that some of the heroes and legendary figures of ancient mythology were in fact descended from the Nephilim, inheriting their exceptional abilities and playing crucial roles in shaping human history. Figures like Gilgamesh, Hercules, and other demigods possessed superhuman qualities that set them apart from ordinary mortals. Could their lineage be traced back to the Nephilim, blurring the lines between good and evil and challenging our simplistic notions of heroism? This isn't to say that all heroes are evil or monstrous, but it is to say that those with Nephilim lineage may have had a more difficult time embracing their true potential. But how can this be utilized to improve ourselves? Just as we can view the Watchers as representations of our own inner potential, so too can we interpret the Nephilim as symbols of our own hidden strengths and weaknesses. They urge us to harness these energies in a balanced and constructive way. We can learn to channel the Nephilim's strength and ambition into creative pursuits, acts of service, or the pursuit of personal growth. However, ethical considerations are paramount. We must avoid the pitfalls of ego and unchecked power, remembering that true greatness lies not in domination, but in compassion, wisdom, and service to others. By integrating the Nephilim within, by acknowledging and harnessing our own inner potential for both good and evil, we can become more complete, more powerful, and more aligned with our true purpose. Is it not our responsibility to control our monstrous tendencies? XIV. Judgment and redemption, the cosmic balance and the hope for renewal, the corruption brought about by the Watchers and the Nephilim ultimately led to the Great Flood, a cataclysmic event that wiped out nearly all life on Earth. Was this simply an act of divine retribution, or did it serve a deeper purpose in the cosmic scheme of things? This was an attempt to restore balance to the world. The flood narrative, found in various forms across numerous ancient cultures, serves as a reminder of the cyclical nature of destruction and renewal. Humanity's increasing violence and wickedness prompted a divine intervention. But is total destruction truly the answer? What lessons can we learn from this narrative? Emerging from the aftermath of the flood is the theme of renewal and redemption, suggesting that humanity has the potential to learn from its mistakes and create a more just and harmonious world. The story of Noah, a righteous man who survived the flood with his family and a menagerie of animals, serves as a powerful symbol of hope and resilience. In essence, he represents the potential for humanity to endure even the most devastating catastrophes. The covenant between God and Noah, a promise never again to destroy all life on Earth with a flood, represents future protection and guidance. But how can we ensure that we are worthy of this protection? Let us not forget Enoch's crucial role as an intercessor and mediator between humanity and the divine. His unique ability to bridge the gap between heaven and earth, his advocacy for the salvation of humankind, highlights the potential for humans to transcend their limitations and achieve union with the divine. His transformation into the angel Metatron, the lesser YHWH, represents the ultimate potential for human beings to ascend to the highest realms of spiritual attainment. What is it about Enoch that allowed him to do this? What makes him so special? To truly understand this, we must explore the Kabbalistic concept of Tikkun Olam, repairing the world. Human beings have a responsibility to heal the fragmented and broken aspects of creation, to restore balance to a world fractured by the actions of the Watchers and the Nephilim. By integrating their shadow selves, promoting justice and compassion, and restoring harmony to the natural world, individuals can contribute to this ongoing process, helping to bring about a more perfect and harmonious world. Can we answer this cosmic call? So what if the key to understanding the books of Enoch lies not in deciphering ancient prophecies or unlocking forbidden secrets, but in recognizing the potential for redemption within ourselves and in actively working to repair the world around us? But what comes next in our exploration of the forbidden? The stage is set, the players are in place, and the curtain rises on the greatest drama ever conceived, the drama of the human soul. But what if the epic battles between angels and demons described in the books of Enoch aren't just celestial clashes, but a mirror reflecting the tumultuous landscape of our own inner world? Could it be that the cosmic war is, in essence, an internal struggle, a battle waged within the very depths of our psyche? This isn't merely intellectual speculation, folks. This discussion has far more practical applications than mere intellectual stimulation, and so you may need to pay extra careful attention to reap the full benefits of what we're about to explore. To truly grasp this concept, we must turn inward to the realm of psychology, and more specifically to the work of Carl Jung, who dedicated his life to exploring the depths of the unconscious mind. Jung posited that within each of us resides a shadow self, a repository of repressed emotions, instincts, and desires that we deem unacceptable or undesirable. Think of this shadow as the Ahriman of your psyche, containing all that you fear and reject about yourself. Now, consider the angelic forces as the conscious mind, representing reason, morality, and aspiration. The struggle between these forces, the ego and the shadow, plays out within each individual, shaping their thoughts, feelings, and actions. This conflict is not a sign of weakness or pathology, but an essential component of the individuation process, the journey toward wholeness and self-realization. Are you ready to delve into your own inner battlefield? Let us now turn to the figures of Lucifer or Semjaza in some interpretations, and Ahriman as archetypal representations of these opposing forces. Lucifer, the light-bearer, embodies the potential for pride, rebellion, and the pursuit of forbidden knowledge. Consider that his fall from grace stems from his desire to transcend his limitations, to know more than he was allowed to know. Isn't this a reflection of humanity's own relentless quest for knowledge, our insatiable curiosity that drives us to push boundaries and challenge the status quo? Ahriman, on the other hand, represents the forces of destruction, chaos, and the denial of divine truth, the darkness that lurks within the human heart, threatening to consume us with negativity and despair. But both figures, paradoxical as it may seem, play a necessary role in the human drama, challenging individuals to confront their own inner demons and to strive for greater enlightenment. Lucifer's rebellion forces us to question authority and to think for ourselves, while Ahriman's darkness compels us to seek the light and to cultivate compassion. Now let us not fall into the trap of viewing these forces as purely good or evil. The key, as always, lies in balance. True spiritual growth requires both the integration of the shadow self and the embrace of the light. In this way, we can learn to harness the power of these opposing forces to fuel our own transformation and our own great work. Consider practices such as meditation, self-reflection, and creative expression as tools to become more aware of your inner conflicts and to develop strategies for resolving them. Shadow work, in particular, involves consciously confronting and integrating the hidden aspects of your personality, acknowledging your fears, desires, and repressed emotions. This process can be painful and challenging, but it is essential for achieving wholeness and authenticity. By accepting and integrating your shadow self, you can unlock your full potential and achieve a more harmonious state of being. Engaging with your inner demons and striving to embody the qualities of the angels can contribute to the ongoing evolution of consciousness and help to bring about a more just and harmonious world. So, the next time you find yourself in conflict, remember that the battle is not just out there, but also in here, and that the greatest victory lies in achieving inner peace and balance. But where does our soul come from to begin with? The ancient mysteries whisper of a journey, a descent into the realm of matter. But what of the soul itself? Where does it originate, and what compels it to embark on this earthly sojourn? Is it merely a spark of divinity cast down into the world, or does it carry with it a deeper purpose, a hidden destiny waiting to be unveiled? These questions, shrouded in enigma, form the very bedrock of our understanding of the Enochian narrative. Consider also the concept of reincarnation, a cornerstone of Eastern philosophical traditions, and, in some interpretations, a hidden truth within the Western esoteric tradition as well. What if the soul's journey is not a single, linear event, but a cyclical process of death and rebirth, in which we repeatedly enter the physical realm in order to learn, grow, and evolve? Each lifetime offers new opportunities for growth and development, new challenges to overcome, and new lessons to learn. Karma, that intricate web of cause and effect, shapes the destiny of souls, rewarding positive actions and punishing negative ones, guiding us toward greater wisdom and compassion. This stands in stark contrast to certain Christian dogmas that propose a single lifetime determining eternal fate, doesn't it? Now let us turn to the books of Enoch themselves, seeking glimpses of the Enochian view of the afterlife. Enoch's visions of the heavenly realms, with their angelic inhabitants, celestial structures, and the throne of God, offer a tantalizing glimpse into the soul's potential destiny, a realm of unimaginable beauty and spiritual fulfillment. Yet his descriptions of hell, with its demons, fiery pits, and the suffering of the wicked, serve as a stark warning about the consequences of straying from the path of righteousness. Consider that these visions offer a symbolic map of the soul's journey after death, representing different states of consciousness and spiritual development. The heavenly realms symbolize the attainment of higher states of awareness, while hell represents the depths of suffering and self-imposed torment. The intermediate realms, those liminal spaces between heaven and hell, may represent the soul's period of reflection and preparation for its next incarnation. As the soul undergoes this cyclical journey, what is its ultimate goal? The journey, as we've seen, is not linear but cyclical, reinforcing the established pattern. The ultimate goal, shrouded in mystery yet hinted at in the Enochian texts, is union with the divine, to return from whence we came. This echoes the Kabbalistic concept of tikkun olam, the repair of the world, suggesting that the soul's journey is not just about personal redemption, but about contributing to the healing of the entire cosmos. As we progress on this journey, what prophecies await us in the Enochian texts? Throughout the books of Enoch, apocalyptic visions abound, painting a vivid, often terrifying picture of the future. But are these prophecies meant to be taken literally as a prediction of specific events, or do they hold a deeper, more symbolic meaning? What if these visions are not just about the end of the world, but about the end of an era, the culmination of a cycle, and the beginning of something new? Consider the visions of the animal apocalypse and the apocalypse of weeks, with their descriptions of war, natural disasters, and the rise and fall of empires. These visions, while seemingly bleak, can be interpreted as a symbolic depiction of the cyclical nature of history and the ongoing struggle between good and evil. The wars and disasters represent the destructive forces that arise when humanity strays from the path of harmony and balance, while the rise and fall of empires symbolizes the impermanence of worldly power and the inevitable triumph of spiritual truth. This is an opportunity to prepare ourselves. Let us not forget the theme of divine judgment, a recurring motif throughout the books of Enoch. The idea that all souls will eventually be judged for their actions and that the righteous will be rewarded while the wicked will be punished speaks to the universal human desire for justice and accountability. Is this not simply karma writ large on a cosmic scale? Contrast this with the Enochian vision of a messianic age, a time of peace, justice, and harmony in the world. The descriptions of a righteous ruler, the absence of war and suffering, and the abundance of natural resources offer a powerful counterpoint to the negative visions of the end times. Consider that this vision represents a symbolic depiction of the potential for human beings to create a more perfect world, based on principles of compassion, justice, and sustainability. It's a direct answer to those end times that are so negative, but here's what many people miss. The future is not predetermined, but is shaped by the choices we make in the present. By embracing our own potential for good and striving to create a more just and compassionate world, we can help to bring about the Messianic age and to fulfill the Enochian vision of hope. The prophecies within the books of Enoch are really about personal change and action, a cosmic call to personal responsibility. But how can we apply all of this to our daily lives? That is where we will journey next. As we draw towards the close of our exploration into the depths of the books of Enoch, from their contested place in history to their rich tapestry of Kabbalistic and psychological interpretations, we find ourselves holding a multifaceted mirror reflecting the human condition, an uncanny convergence of angelology, demonology, apocalyptic visions, and the ever-present specter of judgment. These diverse elements coalesce, not as disparate fragments, but as interwoven threads in a complex narrative of self-discovery, balancing opposing forces, integrating the shadow, and striving for that elusive spiritual growth that defines our human experience. Let us now re-evaluate the initial label of the books of Enoch as forbidden knowledge. Perhaps their suppression stems less from inherent danger and more from the challenge they pose to conventional religious and philosophical frameworks. Could it be that these ancient texts, far from being a source of corruption, offer a potent pathway to self-knowledge and empowerment, albeit one that demands the weighty responsibility of wise and ethical application? It is paramount, therefore, that we approach these texts with a critical mind, an open intuition, and a strong moral compass, ever mindful of understanding ourselves. The books of Enoch provide a detailed map for self-exploration, yet the navigation of this terrain and the integration of its profound insights ultimately falls to each individual. Are not the angelic and demonic forces described within these pages reflections of the human psyche itself? And is not the ultimate objective not to conquer or suppress these forces, but to comprehend and harmonize them, much like a conductor leading a symphony of disparate instruments? Enoch, in this light, stands as a template, an archetype for personal transformation and inner discovery. Exploring the books of Enoch is not a finite task with a clear destination. It is, instead, an ongoing journey of learning and discovery. We encourage you, therefore, to continue your study of these texts, to delve into related traditions, and to share your insights with fellow seekers, ever emphasizing the process over the result, and always remembering that the true value of the books of Enoch lies not in discovering definitive answers, but in igniting critical thinking, nurturing self-awareness, and inspiring unwavering personal growth. Returning to our initial questions about the authenticity and potential perils lurking within the books of Enoch, we find that their true value resides in their symbolic and archetypal content, transcending the bounds of mere historical accuracy. Is it not more pertinent to ask what these books reveal about the human psyche and the nature of reality than to debate their literal truth? Whether these narratives are historically verifiable is secondary to their capacity to illuminate the human condition, irrespective of their acceptance within mainstream religious dogmas. Let's address the very real concerns surrounding Enochian magic and engagement with potentially hazardous demonic entities. The path to decoding these dangers lies in diligent preparation, unwavering ethical considerations, and a profound understanding of potential ramifications. Practices such as meditation, introspective self-reflection, and guidance from seasoned mentors are invaluable tools in navigating the intricate landscape of Enochian magic with safety and efficacy, and indeed, they are highly recommended. Within the pages of the books of Enoch lies a hidden system of knowledge, a veritable map of consciousness, and a framework for profound personal transformation. This underlying system, more than the surface narrative, is what holds the true key. The angelic hierarchies, the demonic forces, the Kabbalistic correspondences, and the psychological insights, all these elements interweave to offer a deeper understanding of ourselves, our place in the cosmos, and our boundless potential for spiritual growth. We reiterate the profound importance of symbolic interpretation. Symbols, you see, unlock levels of understanding inaccessible through literal interpretation alone, offering a gateway to deeper truths. The true power of the books of Enoch resides in their capacity to communicate complex ideas through evocative imagery, metaphorical language, and archetypal figures, effectively bypassing the limitations of purely rational thought. The themes and concepts woven into the fabric of the books of Enoch echo across diverse spiritual traditions and philosophical systems, a testament to the universality of spiritual and psychological truths. Do we not see parallels between Enochian angelology and the angelic hierarchies meticulously described in Kabbalah, Hermeticism, and numerous other esoteric traditions? And are not the themes of judgment, redemption, and the ceaseless struggle between good and evil universal motifs that resonate across cultures and throughout history? Let us now consider the profound philosophical implications of the books of Enoch, those haunting questions about the very nature of reality, the genesis of evil, and the potential for human beings to transcend their perceived limitations. Are the angelic and demonic forces described in these ancient texts real entities or mere archetypal representations of psychological states? These books challenge us to reconsider our understanding of good and evil, urging us to expand our perception of the cosmos and our place within it. These implications extend to the very nature of being, reminding us that personal and social growth are inextricably intertwined, mirroring the eternal dance between demons and angels. The so-called demon is merely a matter of perspective contingent on our approach, while the angel is defined by the ethical application of its power. The two must be in balance. Therefore, we issue a final call to action, urging you to continue exploring the books of Enoch and related traditions, to share your insights and experiences, to challenge your own assumptions, and to remain ever open to new perspectives. Links to additional resources, scholarly articles, translations of the books of Enoch, and websites dedicated to Enochian magic and Kabbalah are provided below. Subscribe to our channel, leave your comments and questions, and join our growing community of seekers, fellow truth seekers, who are collectively exploring these ancient mysteries. In summarizing these key insights, we reaffirm the immense potential for personal transformation that lies within the books of Enoch. By understanding their symbols, narratives, and underlying principles, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the cosmos. We reaffirm that the journey is ongoing, an endless cycle of discovery and growth. Returning to the central mystery posed at the beginning of our journey, are the books of Enoch a dangerous deception or a divinely inspired text? We can now offer a more nuanced and informed answer. The books of Enoch are neither inherently dangerous nor divinely inspired, but rather a complex and multifaceted text that offers both potential benefits and potential risks. The key, we suggest, lies in approaching these texts with wisdom, discernment, and an unwavering commitment to ethical responsibility. Ultimately, the wisdom we seek is not contained within the pages of the book itself, but in the way that the book compels us to look at ourselves. We can use this map to better understand ourselves. This, fellow mystics, is the ultimate purpose. The path is open, the journey is yours.